responsible for feeding a grandparent or aging parent this holiday, so am I. For many of us, the holidays are all about family. So a lot of us have elder loved ones that are coming into town, and we need to figure out how to make meals that can accommodate their dietary restrictions. So I'm here to help. I live in a multi-generational home. Last year, my partner and I moved her 84-year-old mom in with us to become our caregivers, and she needs soft and low sodium food. I realized very quickly when it came to family mealtime, it was really important for her to have a similar meal to the rest of the family. Being served something completely different because of your dietary restrictions can be very isolating and make you feel left out. So when I make meals, I always make two versions, a soft and low sodium version for our aging parent Lola, and then a regular version for the rest of the family. So today I've created a crowd-pleasing holiday dinner with a recipe you can screenshot, step-by-step instructions, which will make things easier for you. Who's your Santa now? So here's our goals for today. Since it's a holiday, I want to make dinner a little fancy, a little special, but also easy. You don't need to be a great cook to make this. If you can follow instructions, you've got this. The meal will be soft and low sodium for Lola, and then I'll alter it a bit to make the rest of the family happy. And between prepping and cooking, this meal will take about 2 hours to make. Because who wants to live in the kitchen during the holidays? Unless you're hiding in there, drinking wine. Here's what we're gonna make: roasted chicken, risotto, roasted veggies, and a beet salad. Now don't let the risotto intimidate you. It's not as complicated as people make it out to be. It's doable and it's a crowd pleaser. Roasted chicken and risotto is one of my personal go-tos when I do have to cook for a crowd because everybody seems to like it. Kids, adults, picky eaters, everyone's happy. And most importantly, it can be soft and low sodium for our seniors. Couple things before we get started. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I do what works for our elder loved one, her dietary restrictions, her ability to chew, so please adjust as needed for you and your loved ones. And if you're looking for a dinner that's more of mashed potatoes, stuffing, roasted turkey, all of that, I do have a Thanksgiving video. And then I also have a lasagna video that has a soft and low sodium version. So you can check those out if they work better for you. And I also made you a menu for holiday brunch. So if you need that, check out that video as well. Let's get started.
First, we're going to start with the vegetables. When you live with somebody who needs soft food, veggies can be a little bit tricky. Lola needs her vegetables to be very soft, almost mushy. And the rest of the family enjoys texture. So I solved this problem by just separating them. Lola's gets cooked longer, so they're nice and soft, and then the rest of the family has a more textured vegetable. So for today, I'm cooking the family's vegetables on a sheet pan separately, and then I'm cooking Lola's vegetables with the roasted chicken. For the family's vegetables, add 1.5 tablespoons of butter, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste. Feel free to add more seasoning if desired. Mix until evenly combined. And then set these aside because they're not going in the oven yet. Now we're making the herb butter that we're going to spread on the chicken. Combine 1/4 cup of butter, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 2 sprigs of thyme, and 1 sprig of rosemary. Make sure you remove and discard the stem. Add zest from 1 lemon, and then since we're not using salt, I use a no salt seasoning. This is my trick for creating more salt-free flavor. There's a lot of salt-free seasoning alternatives out there, so use your favorite one. Then blend until everything's nice and smooth, and set aside. Now we're going to wash and pat dry the chicken. Then we're going to take the herb butter we just made and we're going to spread it all over the chicken, under the skin, on the skin, in the cavity, all over. Place the bird on top of the vegetables that we cut up for Lola. and squeeze the juice of 1 lemon all over the bird. Then put 4 sprigs of rosemary, 4 sprigs of thyme, and 2 lemons in the cavity. You can alter this if you'd like. Then pour in 1 cup of low-sodium broth. And tie the legs together with some cooking twine. Set aside. Let's prep the beets for the beet salad.
Don't forget to wear gloves when you're working with beets. I forgot to buy them, now I have beet fingers. The chicken and the beets take the longest to cook, so those are going in first. You want to baste the chicken every 20 minutes so it stays nice and moist. Beets might only take 45 minutes or an hour depending on how big they are, so I will check them at the 45-minute mark, but they could take over an hour, so that's why they're going in with chicken. The roasted veggies for the rest of the family is only going to take about 20 minutes, so those are going in last. And now we'll make the risotto so everything's done together.
In a medium or large saucepan, add 7 cups of broth. And of course you want to make sure it's low sodium. Homemade is always better, but if you don't have it, just use the store-bought. Then add 2 cups of water. Add 3 dried mushrooms and 1 packet of no salt seasoning. This is how I amp up the flavor without the salt. Bring to a boil and down to a simmer for about 20 minutes. Dice up a shallot into small pieces. Peel and finely chop 3 cloves of garlic. Once the broth has been simmering for 20 minutes, lower the heat to as low as it goes. We just want to keep it warm. And this is the perfect time to baste the chicken and check the beets. Back to the risotto. Heat a large skillet over medium-low heat. Add 2 of the tablespoons of butter, save the third, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Melt. Add shallots and saute for about 8 minutes or until translucent. Then add the garlic and saute for another minute. For risotto, you want to go with a short grain, high-starch rice. This is what I went with. Bring the skillet up to medium. Add your rice and allow it to brown for about 2 minutes. You want to stir constantly. Now you want to deglaze your pan with 1 cup of dry white wine. I went with a Chardonnay. Stir somewhat frequently and allow it to absorb, which will take about 2 minutes. I take that time to add the vegetables to the oven. Now we're going to ladle in 1 to 2 scoops of our chicken stock. It's this cooking process that makes risotto risotto. Basically, we're just slowly allowing the starches to release. This is mostly what makes risotto nice and creamy. When those 2 ladles absorb, add 2 more, and then repeat the process. It's been an hour and 15 minutes and the chicken is done, as are the beets. Which is perfect because chicken should rest about 15 or 20 minutes. Which will give me just enough time to finish off the risotto and the vegetables. And make the beet salad. Unwrap the beets and then slice them up. A nice warm beet salad is just delicious and healthy. And it takes a little work to make it nice and flavorful.